Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 2 of the League Challenge that happened at Die Hard Games on May 23rd, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play at whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. Deck Switch Tournament, Thursday, June 6th at 6 p.m., where you may switch your deck between rounds only if you want to. Sun and Moon On Tournament, June 13th at 6 p.m., where you can use cards from the Sun and Moon base set expansion and forward. And more fun format friendly tournaments coming this June, all Central Time, all at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as League Challenges, League Cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. Mirror match, I believe. Arceus Giratina versus Arceus Giratina. Currently Arceus V versus Squilvit. What a matchup. Looks like our Arceus player on the right went first and then just drew pass. I'm gonna have to see that again. Yeah, okay, yep. They draw a card. Think about playing a card. But it looks like they passed things over, so yeah, apologies if I got something wrong, but it looks like our player on the right went first, and they drew and pass. Now, action is over on the left as a Giratina V gets benched. Energy gets attached to the Arceus V in the active spot. Things are looking a lot better for them. And we'll see if this judge gets played. Yeah, so it definitely was a draw pass over on the right to start the game off. There they go, showing the hand. The only thing they were missing was an Arceus V. And that turn would have been totally different. Either way, our player on the left here plays a judge. That supporter has both players shuffle their hand into their deck, and then each player gets 4 cards from the top. The great equalizer that judge is. Of course, for these Arceus V decks, the goal for turn 1 is to get Arceus in play and get an energy attached to it. So that way next turn it can evolve into the Arceus V-Star, use its V-Star power ability Starbirth if needed, and start attacking, putting damage out on the board, as well as accelerating energy from the deck. However, before all that, a Capturing Aroma will be played. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon to put to your hand. If tails, search your deck for a basic. Looks like it was tails. Bidoof is plucked out of the deck and put onto the bench, so that way it can evolve into the powerful support Pokemon Bibarel in future turns. I think that's pretty much all our Arceus player on the left needs to do for this turn 1. Bibarel already in hand as well for future turns, and play is passed back over to our Arceus player on the right. Now we see that Arceus V hit the bench, as well as an energy get attached to it, and that's all they got as they pass things back over to our player on the left. Arceus V-Star evolves in the active spot. Bibarel evolves on the bench. Bibarel uses its Industrious Incisor's ability to draw up to 5 cards in hand. 3 more cards added to the hand this turn. Ultra Ball is found and being debated on being played here. You can Ultra Ball for the the Giratina V-Star, or you could just find it with Starbirth. Arceus V-Star has the V-Star power ability Starbirth. When you use it, you can search your deck for 2 cards. Pick a card, any card. One of the cards is most likely going to be that double turbo energy, so that way the Arceus V-Star can attack. And the other card could be the Giratina V-Star. Could be a supporter. Just depends on what was in the hand. Looks like it's the double turbo energy for sure. That gets attached to the active. And next is that boss's orders to bring up the Arceus V from the bench. Next is Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball will discard a couple of cards in order to search the deck for a Pokemon card. It could be a basic, evolution, anything. Now, if the Ace Spec maximum belts in hand, a KO could have been taken here, but that's okay. We're initiating the hits here, dealing 180 damage to the opposing Arceus V with Arceus V Star's Trinity Nova attack, and then they may search their deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon V in any way you like. So 3 energy, get attached to that Giratina V Star on the bench, and play resumes over on the right, where an Arceus V Star is found and evolved in the active spot. Starbirth is online and will be used. Okay, only 2 cards in the opponent's hand, so something like a Judge might not be found here. I think we just have to find basics to put on the bench and power up with Trinity Nova. Yeah, so maybe an Arceus V and a Giratina V could be targets here. Maybe just a Giratina V and a Bidoof. Just depend what our player has in hand and has in mind as well. Alright, Starbirth finds any 2 cards from the deck here. And we're going to get things shuffled up and play some more Pokemon cards here. Advantage definitely seems to be on the left-hand side of the table here. But, like I always say, anything can happen in the Pokemon trading card game. As Giratina V hits the bench over on the right. And next is Professor Turtle's Scenario. Interesting. To return the Arceus V-Star and the V, of course, to the hand, Skwovet moves into the active spot. Ooh, and play resumes over on left Arceus side. So kind of just play a more defensive play on the right, kind of just hanging in there, undoing the damage from last turn, but are you just prolonging the inevitable here? Psychic Energy attached to the benched Giratina V-Star on the left. Its attack is powered up and ready to go now. Lost impact for 280 is Giratina V-Star's attack. And it looks like the active Arceus V-Star is just going to take the KO on the opposing 60 HP Skwovet and potentially accelerate some more energy from the deck. I mean, your guys on the bench are fully powered up, so really no need to accelerate energy. Though thinning those energy cards out of the deck isn't the worst idea, as a fire energy is. Looks like it's going to go on the active. And play will continue over on right Arceus' side. What can they do to come back into this game? The Turtles was nice because it undid the damage and essentially healed the Arceus V-Star, but there was no energy attachment. So this Arceus can't even attack this turn. Grass Energy is attached to the active Arceus V-Star. Giratina V-Star evolved on the bench, of course, too. Okay, and then next is Judge. Try to disrupt the opponent. But Judge isn't as effective with the Bibarel on the opponent's side of the field. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, it looks like our left Arceus player forgot to take a prize card for knocking out the Skwovet the last turn, so that's what they do. Players figured it out. I didn't even catch it here. As we're resolving this judge now. Yeah, I'm trying to see the lines for our right Arceus player, but it's just not looking good for them at this point. Especially since the opposing Giratina V-Star is already established and fully powered up. All they need is something like that maximum belt that they found off of the judge in order to start taking one-shots on big HP Pokemon. Seems like our right Arceus player just has the judge. His play resumes over on the left. The maximum belt is being attached to the bench Bidoof. Okay. And then Lost Vacuum will be played to send that attached tool to the Lost Zone. Arceus V is benched, and Bibarel uses Industrious Incisors to draw up to 5 cards. What an interesting game we've got going on here. Let's see what else our Arctina player on the left has. Nest Ball is played to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to add to the bench. Either another Bidoof or Skwovet would be fine here. It looks like there's already a Bidoof in hand, so maybe it's going to be that Skwovet. Bidoof is put onto the bench. Okay, the maximum belt. Maximum belt A-Spec you see in the Lost Zone there. That only does increase damage to opposing Pokemon EX. Arceus V-Star and Giratina V-Star Pokemon V. So yeah, that's irrelevant there. Just thinned it out of the hand. Made the hand a lot smaller to draw more with Industrious Incisors is what that player did there. My mistake on missing that. As the Arceus V-Star in the active spot uses Trinity Nova to deal some damage to the opposing Pokemon and accelerate some energy to the bench. Over on the right, a Hisuian Heavy Ball is played. That card has you look at the prize cards, and you may switch the Hisuian Heavy Ball with the basic Pokemon that's prized, but no targets are found here. Prize cards are shuffled back up and laid back out. Psychic Energy is attached to the benched Giratina V-Star. And we're just going through the motions here. Boss Stall is the strategy here, as that to retreat Bidoof is brought into the active spot with the boss's orders and play resumes over on its side. Bidoof on the bench evolves. Double Bidoof in play now over on the left. Double Turbo Energy attached to the bench Arceus V. Professor Turo's scenario comes through now to put that active Bidoof Bibarel into the hand. Arceus V-Star moves back into the active spot. Bidoof is put on the bench. Arceus V-Star takes the KO on the opposing Pokemon. No energy really needed to be accelerated from the deck. There may be no more basic energy in deck anyways. Giratina V-Star moves into the active spot and play resumes over on its side. And our player on the right sees the writing on the wall and concedes the rest of this game. What do you think of this video and the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.